What up, guys? Metal here. So today we're doing a new series. We'll see how you guys feel about this. See if anyone even watches it, Lamau. Basically gonna be Tarkov. I'm going to be recording every single game. Try to basically show what I think a new player should be doing as they get started. Now we're a couple weeks into this wipe, about a month. I played a little bit at the very beginning, but I just reset myself. I wanted to be a bear and I wanted to do some other stuff, so I just reset myself. So this is the first time booted up after resetting myself now, so I'm going to pick English. So I'm pretty sure somebody took the name Metal now. Rip your boy. Alright, we're metal.kc. Oh, I can't dot. Alright, let's do no attack. Boom. Alright, we're being bear. And ready to get started. Stash is stock. So I'm basically going to be recording every single game that I play, every single raid, and basically trying to show newer players how to get started. I've been playing the game since January of 2017. I'm about as experienced as anybody. So, yeah, that's basically the goal here. The very first thing that I do once I get started is I reorganize my stash. Start by taking your backpacks, stacking them together. Oh, they made it so you can't equip now. Boy, alright. I'm gonna go ahead and put that there and then. Oh, okay, so basically what I do, all the stuff I'm gonna use, you want at the bottom of your stash so that when you get back from a normal raid, you can just go ahead and control click all your shit out your inventory, and then it will go out to the top where you can then sell it easily. The easiest way to deal with all your stuff coming back from a raid. Some of this stuff I'm gonna sell. I don't generally like to do pistol runs, so I'm gonna sell the pistols, but I am gonna keep the Groks. Sorry, so I'm not gonna sell the pistols. I'm gonna sell the Makarovs, and I'm gonna keep the Groks. Basic stuff down. This I use as a essentially as a second chance at doing the early Peacekeeper quest that requires you to dead drop an SV98. I don't think I've ever lost the SV98s doing that quest, but I'd rather just have it for that. SV98s are horrible because they have a weird trigger delay that no other gun in the game has, so I don't suggest you use them. Now, money I just put at the top of my stash because you can't accidentally sell it to a vendor, so I just put it up there. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and activate my gift while we're here. Alright, so now I have my stash organized roughly how I want it. So I've got my guns at the bottom, I got some backpacks, gear, ammo, meds, food, bullshit gear, and the stuff I want to sell up top, I think I'm going to hold on to this, along with my money up top, till I get a money case, some way to tuck the money away. So now I'm going to disassemble the guns, which in this case for a Makarov, there's not much to disassemble. Unload the ammo. I don't think that in this case I'm going to end up selling the ammo mags to different vendors, but I just do that as force of habit. You don't really have that many mags to unload anyway. So from here, and you also want to check, as a good force of habit, why it's habit, is whenever you loot a body, a person, you want to unload his mags for yourself because you want to see what kind of ammo he had. If it was good ammo, if it was valuable ammo that you're going to want to keep for yourself, or if you just want to vendor it off. So all the stuff I want to sell. Now when you sell things, you should always first check either skier or therapist because they pay you the most money for a given item. They don't take the same item, so it doesn't matter which one you go to first. Just remember, skier or therapist first, as soon as the game wants to work. Awesome. Resetting my account got me my examined items back. So you want to go to skier or therapist first. In this case, therapist doesn't want any of my shit, so I'm just going to go back to skier. And I'm going to go ahead and sell that shit to him, and then Depending on who you are trying to level, you should either go to Prapper, Mechanic, or Peacekeeper. They all give you roughly the same rate. Technically, the best rates are Peacekeeper, then Mechanic, then Prapper, but Peacekeeper pays you in dollars, so you may want to just go to Mechanic. It depends. It really depends on what you want to do. I don't think that it's important to sell to one of these guys in particular over any of the other ones. If you're min-maxing, go Peacekeeper, but generally in the beginning, you should be worried about whichever guy you're trying to level, which for me in the very beginning is Prapper, because his equipment's going to help me a lot more than either of the other guys' equipment in the early game. Then after Prapper, after I get to 750k for Prapper, I'm going to start working on Peacekeeper because he's the easiest to level. Now, the next thing you want to do after you've organized your stash is you want to start examining every item. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using middle click to examine them as quickly as possible. I know this seems boring, but there's two reasons to do this. One, you see I'm getting a random amount of XP, anywhere from like 2 XP to 10 XP for each item. And also, once you get into a round and you kill a player or a scav, you don't want to be stuck examining their shit instead of equipping it and using it or looting it. You don't want to be stuck at a body any longer than you have to be in the open, vulnerable in a menu. So you do this now so you can get the XP and so you can get the examining out of the way now in a menu instead of when it's dangerous. And I would recommend that once you get to the level where you unlock the flea market, which in this case it's level 10, although that has changed in the past, that you go on the flea market and you examine every single item in the game at that time. For, again, XP and for the purposes of not having to do it once you're in game and actually on a body. Now, there's only one exception to that rule, and that's keys and key cards. I like to leave keys unexamined because generally when I find a key, it's not urgent that I examine it and know what it is. I tuck that away into my secure container, and then when I get a chance, I examine it. But this way I know if I see a key in the wild and it's unexamined, I know that I have never seen it before. And that way I know that that's a key worth taking. I know it's not... And then I can keep track of which keys are valuable and worth picking up and which keys are junk and common. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and examine these items until we're all done, and I'll see you guys in a bit. I just wanted to share a little pro tip while I'm going through fences items here. If you click on an item that you have examined, like a weapon or a helmet or some other thing that has component parts, you can double click in this window and examine more items on the inside of it. That way you can get, be even more complete here as you go through. Okay guys, so I'm back. I'm wrapping up the last of my examining here, but you'll notice that I have actually hit level 2 this wipe, and I still have not even gone to a raid. That's why I examine these items, because it can really, help you get ahead, especially in the beginning. Getting to level 10 or 15 or whatever level, I forget the exact level. I'll check that in a second. Whatever level unlocks you the flea market is really going to open up your options as far as getting things done, getting progressed in the game, getting equipment, all that sort of shit. So you really want to be going through and getting leveled up as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to finish up examining these items on these guns, and we're going to go ahead and go on to the next step. Alright, I think that's everything. Nope, we got one more. Not what I meant to do. Alright. So yeah, you want to have all these things examined, makes it easier. Especially with these mechanic guns, a lot of these items are pretty valuable and you want to be able to recognize them in game. Alright, now that that's knocked out of the way, we're going to want to go ahead, go back to the trading menu, check the task menu for every trader. Usually the only people who are going to have tasks in the very beginning are your therapist and your prapper quests. However, this may change in the future, so I would say it's good practice to check everyone at the start of a wipe and just make sure that you do not have anything new. I'm going to go ahead and examine some things at Fence because his inventory has changed. I definitely wanted to get this Viper Hunter because that's a fairly common weapon to find in the wild, so I definitely want to get that examined. The Saiga 9 as well. Oh, that's a key. That's a crappy key anyway. Get that examined, whatever. Break cigarettes, GM counter. Yeah, stuff like this I definitely want to have examined. A helmet, so if I find that helmet in game now, I don't have to examine it while I'm looting that guy's body. That's really good. Don't want to be stuck there. Because ideally, if I run into guys who are carrying equipment like this at the start of the game, what I want to do is I want to be able to kill the first guy, and I want to be able to immediately scoop that shit up and use his gear to engage his friends if he has any. Okay, so now that I've accepted my quests and I've organized my inventory, we're going to go ahead and get ready to go into... Uh-oh. What did we not examine? Oh, we still have Viper Hunters. Oh well, we missed something. What are we going to do? So anyway, now that we've examined these items, we've gotten our starter quests accepted. We want to go ahead and kit up for our first raid. So for the first raid, I'm going to take this backpack, this basic one, and the Triton rig, and then I'm going to go ahead... Ooh, the options that you have as far as weapons in the very beginning are not ideal. I'm actually just going to go ahead and buy a Mosin. Now, I started with 400k for being an EOD player. Now, people a lot of times are scared to spend money in the very beginning, but you start with 400k, 300k, depending on your edition. That's plenty of money. You don't need to be like super worried about losing it. I'm actually going to take this Triton rig off. I don't think that's actually going to be very helpful for me in the beginning. So... yeah, that's my thought process. You're better off spending a little money in the beginning to make a little money. I'm going to go to Ragman and buy a Scav vest and a P.A.C.A. And headphones. Headphones are important. They let you hear a lot better. Guess I can't buy a Scav vest yet. Okay. We'll be stuck without it then. Get a balaclava so my shiny head don't stick out. Okay, and then with a Mosin, when you buy a Mosin, it's kind of... gotta damn it out of my hands. Okay. Kind of a pain in the ass to load, so you gotta take the internal magazine out and then load it and then put it back in the gun at the menu. In the game, you can just hit R, but in the menu, bit of a pain in the ass. So, we need to get customs scav kills. This is the insurance screen. You should always insure everything, and I should also bring first aid before I forget. So, in the beginning, I just bring 1 splint, 1 AI2, 1 bandage. If I need more than that, in the start, I have fucked up. Or I will find more. That's my way of looking at it. Now, you should always insure your gear 100% of the time. There's 2 reasons for that. Your gear is going to be... the price of insurance is going to scale according to your gear. It's always going to be a percentage of your gear. So some people will say, oh, this stuff's expensive, so I need to insure it. Or... this stuff is cheap, so there's no point in insuring it or whatever. It's always the same cost relative to your equipment, insuring it, so that doesn't really matter. What matters is that, you know, insurance is only like 5 or 10% of the cost of your gear. You should always insure because there's always a chance you get it back. Basically, always worth the risk. Only if you only get your gear back 10% of the time, it was worth it. And so, you know, if the guy who kills you gets Tarkoved, if you get killed by a scav and fall into a bush or fall into a river, fall into somewhere where nobody finds your body, you'll get your shit back. You know, so lots of weird shit happens in Tarkov, and it can be worth it to... it's always worth it to insure. Always. Unless you're, like, literally broke and you have 0 rubles. That's the only time I would say don't insure. And then the other thing is that maybe you kill a bunch of dudes, and you have so much loot that you can throw your shit down somewhere else and steal all their shit, and then hopefully you'll get your shit back in insurance. That effectively increases your chances, that increases your ability to take loot out of a raid. So that's the reasons you should definitely insure things. You should always insure it. If it's shitty, you're more likely to get it back. If it's expensive, it doesn't matter. If it's expensive, you've already spent a bunch, so you may as well spend a little bit more to hedge your bet and hopefully get it back. Anyway, that's my thought process there. We're getting into a raid. Here's the other important thing for a new player especially. The biggest mistake I see new players making is that they're not fast enough in their inventory. Now, obviously, that's going to come with time, but the 2 things that you need to drill into your head is that control clicking items will put them into your pockets or backpack or chest rig, whichever the item is coded to go into. So you want to control click things, or you want to alt click things to equip them. So if you have someone who has better shit than you, you want to throw your shit on the ground and alt click their shit as quickly as you can. Anyway, we're getting into our first raid, so let's go ahead and get ready to start out. So I'm going to be trying to live commentate as best I can and explain my thought process and why I'm doing what I'm doing. That way you can hopefully gain some sort of valuable knowledge from this. So I have spawned in a great spawn. I spawned forward of pretty much every position on the map, and I'm right next to dorms, which if this was later in my personal progression, if I had the keys that'd be really nice. I don't have the keys to get in any of the dorms rooms, so honestly, the spawn is kind of wasted on me right now. Also, my graphics are not really the way I feel they should be. I'll have to fuck with this later. Bleh. Doesn't look right to me. Anyway, we'll figure it out. It's not running super great. Probably just because recording. It's been so long since I've recorded or streamed. Anyway. Sharpness slider. Yeah, way too much sharpness. I don't like to play with anti-aliasing on because I play at 1440p. I feel like anti-aliasing is kind of overkill at that point. But the extra sharpness was like adding a bunch of aliasing, adding all the jaggies. That's what it was. I don't normally play at 1.2 sharpness. I don't know why it defaulted to that. That shot on the left was... Scav. There's no way a player would have gotten there that quick. Oh, you can equip things that aren't... wait, what? How did I not have Pack Examined coming into this raid? That ain't right. That's some sort of weird examine bug or something. Anyway. So I heard some shots as we're moving in. I've heard shots at the construction site. And now I'm hearing shots back by boilers, which is pretty usual. The boilers spawn is kind of a clusterfuck and always has been. The main reason I'm here is checking for the scav boss. There's not going to be much loot for me here otherwise. And in fact, it's probably only going to be death for me here. Because what's going to happen is, as I linger around here, people are going to start showing up, like that guy at the outside stairwell running past. He's opened a key door above me. Sprinting around. Metal. I think I just saw him running against the back gate. Back wall of the map. He's outie. He fucking ran. That's fine. Kind of want him to. I don't know what kind of equipment he had, and I don't like... My goal in this match is to really just not fight anybody. If I can ambush somebody and take them out with a Mosin, I'll take it, but really I'd rather just run into nobody and be able to kill my scavs and get out. The other reason I don't play with the sharpness slider cranked up is because I try to always be on painkillers, and that'll already add a bit of sharpness to the game, so don't want to double sharpness yourself. I just swore I heard someone on the left. Go ahead and keep moving. So as a new player, you want to start your raids on customs because that's where the beginning quests are. That's where a lot of quests are in general. It's kind of just an artifact of the fact that when the quest system was implemented, there weren't that many maps, and customs was one of them. So a lot of maps like Shoreline and Reserve, where people feel a bit safer, or there's more loot, just weren't in the game yet. I feel like he was in I may be misjudging how far away he is from the sound. seemed like he might have been that way, but I think he's farther. I think he's in like the cranes area. So what I'm essentially trying to do now is I'm trying to find a spot that's kind of safe to wait. There's not a lot of loot on customs. It's mostly a PvP map because of the design of it, because of the way that people move around the choke points, etc. So what I'm trying to do is I'm basically just trying to find a bush, or you know, this corner. This corner's pretty safe, in my opinion. Somewhere I can ambush people if they come by, and somewhere where I can wait for the scavs to spawn in the map, because I'm here to get scav kills mainly. And if I move a lot in the beginning, all that's likely to happen if I move around a lot in the beginning is that I'm going to get killed by the players who are trying to contest the loot on the map and do PvP. Which that's not the reason I'm here. I'm here for quests. Quests are the way to level up as fast as you possibly can in this game. That's the way to play in the beginning. I think I just heard someone on the left. Yep. What up, bud? Level 45, and you're running with a Hunter and a Zook 3 press armor. Well, this is a pretty good upgrade in gear. So far we have killed 5 scavs. We hand over 2 MR133 shotguns. We killed 1 scav so far. That was a scav, I think. That was my Discord, sorry. I'm sure a bunch of you just checked yours. Alright, let's keep on going. So we need 3 more scav kills. Now, quite a few scavs will spawn on this side of the map late in the raid. That's what I'm counting on right now. Well, this isn't really late. This is like midway through. But sometimes you can get quite a few. Okay, so now we've killed... What's it called? Killed 4 scavs. Gonna leave my... Well, we'll wait a sec. Oh yeah, that's a pump shotty. Okay, so I'm gonna need 2 of those. So I'm gonna leave my Mosin here in these tires. It's not a great hiding spot, to be honest, but I don't really care that much. It's just a Mosin. So there was that singular shot taken from the front right while I was sitting there looting those bodies. That made me a little uncomfortable. Okay. I want that. Can fit that there. Yep, okay. Sometimes you can get scavs hanging around these streets or this trailer park. The extracts, if you spawned on the side of the map that I did, are at that blue wall checkpoint thing. And over here at this wall. So. I'll go ahead and do a survey of this area. And try and figure out where these guys are. See if I can find one more scav to kill out. I would like to get every single scav I need to kill killed in this first go on customs, if I can. Looked weird. Looked like a body or something. It's just a box. Kind of low on hydration. We'll go ahead and drink this water. I don't generally recommend that people bring their own water to a raid. It's not what I want to do. I want to use all. I don't generally recommend that people bring their own liquids to raid, their own water or whatever. If you're in a raid so long that you actually need it, you should have been able to find it. I do recommend that you pick up what you find, though. Worst case scenario, you just drop it because you find something more valuable later. Hope sorry's not worth something. What up, bud? Yeah, the other shotgun I need. Okay, guy who brought me this, I appreciate you. I just needed to borrow it for a bit, apparently, and I will go ahead and let you have it back later, if you insured it. Maybe, if nobody else checks that building. Finds it on the ground. I will take his 10 rounders, though. Which are probably more expensive than the rifle itself. And his red dot. So I would consider that a very successful run, because we got all 5 scav kills and both shotguns. So I was thinking about doing a factory round for that to get the second shotgun, but looks like we got lucky enough that we could actually get both on the same run. That's what I'd recommend that you do. If you can't get the second shotgun, you should be able to get a 1 shotgun if you kill 5 scavs on customs. That is almost guaranteed. But if you can't get the second one on customs, I just recommend that you farm factory for it. Okay. Got my gift in. Go ahead and I'll organize this stuff up. I'll check back with you guys in a bit, basically. Okay, I'm back. I've got my inventory roughly organized. Now I'm gonna do something that's super duper min-maxy. Well, actually, it's not really actually that min-maxy now that I think about it. I'm gonna go on my scav run. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in this shotgun up here to Prapper. My scav has an FAL. I'm gonna take him. Let's go interchange. He actually has some decent kit on him. So now my goal with this scav, because of so obviously you should take your scav runs whenever you can at the beginning because it's free shit. If the raid goes well, you can get even more free shit. I generally take mine to Interchange or Shoreline because they're a bit bigger maps to have a lot of loot. Even going late, you can still find stuff. The downside to a scav run, and I discourage people. So scav runs are really good. Don't get me wrong. They're very beneficial to getting you money and getting you some map knowledge. There's 2 things that they're really kind of detrimental to, though. There's an element of map knowledge that a veteran Tarkov player is going to have, like game sense, where they know the spawns and they know the timing, so they know roughly where the other players are going to be on the map at a given time. That's really important to have, and so playing scav runs is not going to really help you with that because you're coming into the raid at kind of a random time. And you're spawning at kind of a random place in comparison. And then the other thing it's not going to help you with is it's not getting you any XP. So it's not helping you with your trader progression, and it's not helping you with your character progression at all. All your skills and XP go to your scav, not to your PMC. Now you can improve your scav skills, and your scav skills do transfer over to your subsequent scav runs, but you really want those skills on your PMC, not on your scav. So scav runs are a really useful learning tool. And they're really useful for getting extra money. But once I hit level 20 or 30 and I start having a stable stash, I don't tend to do a whole lot of scav runs at that point unless I'm having a bad night and I'm losing a lot of money or something, because I want to keep progressing my PMC. I want to keep getting him money, getting him XP, getting him skill tiers, and etc. Because, you know, the scav I feel is more for low level and new players. So that's my rant on that as we load in here. Okay, we're in below idea. This is actually decently late, which is what I want. What do I have on me? ALU Splint Golden Star, AI2, 2 mags. This is actually not a bad start. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go, oh, good guy at my feet. Also, this is going to seem incredibly min-maxy. I don't generally examine items on my scav if I can avoid it. Like, I'm not going to wear this chest rig, I'm not going to wear that equipment, so I'm not going to examine it there. Because of what I just said, the XP goes to the scav and not the PMC. And XP as a scav actually does nothing. Skill progression as a scav is useful. XP as a scav marginally useful. It's not as useful as your skill tier on your PMC, but XP as a scav does actually nothing, like literally nothing. So I don't want that there. Obviously, I'll examine an item as a scav if I need to use it as that scav, because at the end of the day, it's only like 5 or 10 XP. But if I don't need to use it as a scav, there's no reason to examine it. So why would I? It's just gonna hurt me. So here's my goal on this run. I actually am pretty happy with the FAL, and I'm happy with his equipment overall, so I don't really want to go into some high traffic area and risk getting shot. What I want is a shotgun of either kind. Well, what I want is a Russian, the MR series shotguns of either make, and I'll explain more about that if I get one. 1911. Haven't used one of those yet. Fun shit going on inside the mall. I'm just gonna go ahead and... That might be killer. Maybe. Sounds like an AK. Lots of grenades. But that's not my problem. Not what I'm here for. I'm playing very conservatively because I want this to be a more realistic representation of what I feel like will be best for a new player to do at the beginning of a wipe. I feel like if this was just me on my normal scav run, I might go for that, but that's not what this is. Those might be scav players. The one's got a shotgun, I want those, so I'm just going to go ahead and... Okay, they're definitely not scav players, never mind. This guy's got the shotgun I want, so we're going to start here. So, like, in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and examine the items, because I know armor is that. Oh, I'm going to need that later, too. I'll take that. Not sure if I killed that second scav. Pretty sure all he had was a pistol, so I'm just going to book it. I got what I came here for. These Apollo cigarettes and stuff that I'm picking up, they're really not worth anything, a DVD drive, but a full slot's better than an empty slot, really, on a scav run on my way out of the map, so I'm just going to fill them up, and it's a couple points of XP at least for my PMC once I get out. Someone else has been here already. Usually the ammo that comes in those little, like, wrapper, papery looking wrapper things is pretty good. Not the boxes, not like little cardboard boxes, but like the wrappery looking ones. I think that's usually like high tier 9x39 ASVAL ammo. Okay, I like to extract from here at this extraction. The main reason I go from here is because if someone was to be approaching from that direction or sniping it, they might see my legs, but they won't see my chest and head. So even if they try to engage me, it'll be harder. It'll be harder to kill me as I extract, at least. So just that's a little tiny thing, like a little optimization for way to play, I guess. I like to approach from that left side because I have more cover. I have less to worry about because I've got the wall, and then I extract at that train junction, like that little gap between the trains. Oh, I did kill the second scav. Okay, so go ahead and dump all this stuff out. Alright, and I'll check back in with you guys once I'm done organizing this. Okay, so I'm back. I organized my inventory a bit. I equipped the stock FAL. I actually like stock FALs. You can't really run them full auto too good, but they do pack a lot of punch and they're cheap. They're decent early game weapons if you're getting them off scavs, so I believe in them. Anyway, I equipped the helmet. Now, a lot of people will say this is the quick little rant. Some people say it's the best helmet in the game because you get it early, it's cheap, it's level 3 armor class, and you have a high ricochet chance. And they say that level 4 helmet's not worth it, it's a lot more expensive, and it won't protect you from a whole lot more threats. Now, that is to an extent true. However, here's the thing that sucks about this helmet and why I generally actually don't recommend buying them. I'll wear them if I find them and I'm new, but sometimes there's something that people don't take into account, and that is the ergonomics penalty of this helmet. So if I look at my FAL here, 36 ergonomics, that's already pretty shit. If I choose to wear this helmet, though, we're looking at 32 ergonomics, 33 ergonomics, which is even worse. Minus 13% is pretty rough. If you have a high ergonomic gun, you might be losing even, you might be losing like 8-9 points of ergonomics. That's like a whole foregrip, a whole really good meta ergo foregrip because you wanted to wear this shitty helmet. So I'm not saying don't wear this helmet, but consider that there are situations where, like, if you're going in with a Mosin and this helmet, you are losing so much ergonomics by wearing this helmet that you will actually be able to not hold up your gun noticeably longer, and you will aim down the sight with the gun noticeably slower because of this helmet than you would have if you were wearing no helmet at all. So I think that's definitely worth pointing out. I don't think that helmet is worth 30k to buy and run. Just gonna throw that out there. So now, here's why I wanted this shotgun. Here's the other thing. So, with Prapper's quest, what you need to do is turn in a Found in Raid MP133 shotgun. It might not be Found in Raid, it might be any Found in Raid shot. But the important thing is that it needs to be functional. In this state, without a stock, it's functional because the scav that I had, it killed with it, had this grip on it, this aftermarket grip. Now, this grip is actually needed for a later quest with Mechanic on one of those shotguns. So this is a super little min-max thing to do. I am going to take this stock off of the semi-auto shotgun because it's compatible and throw it onto there. I'm also going to take this magazine tube cap and put it onto there because I want to turn into Prapper the shittiest functional shotgun I can so that I can lose the least money on that quest. So I turned in the other shotgun because that was already basically the shittiest it could be. Now I went and did that raid, got a free FAL, and then got the parts to make this shotgun even shittier to turn in before finishing this quest. So now that's over, and we can take the next step, which is the medallion quest or the pocket watch quest, which I'm going to go ahead and handle on episode 2 of this. So I'm just going to go ahead and sell my loot, and I will go ahead and end this episode for now. So I'm going to sell that. I'm going to hold on to this. We'll need that later. So again, start at Skier. Then I'm going to go to Prapper because in this case, I want to sell to him to get him leveled up as quickly as I can, except my connection's being a bit shit. Some things I don't want to sell at all. I want to wait until I flea market because they're much more valuable to sell there. Okay. Not hot. Not going so good. Okay, so I just restarted my game. Just want to note at the end of the first 2 raids, we got 400,000 rubles. Just wanted to get this little bit recorded. 407,000, and that's our money in our money cave. Yay, boys! All right, let's so next time, see you guys for the golden pocket, or the bronze pocket watch.